Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And BuzzFeed news is about done. BuzzFeed's about done. We've been chronicling the decline of BuzzFeed. Their huge stock debacle last year. They went public and it was a disaster. To put it mildly.
that's one way of putting it.
And BuzzFeed's been on the decline. This is one of those news organizations, digital media companies, news quote unquote news organizations that has been living off of venture capital for years. And now the end is near because now that BuzzFeed is being traded publicly, the investors are pushing for them to shut down BuzzFeed News because it actually loses money.
And BuzzFeed News, and when I say news, I mean a lot of it was listicles and shit like that. But they were like some of the people we talk about when we say these people getting these warm seats to spout off about their topics.
Yeah,
this is one of them. And now the investors are like, get rid of them.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more of this. I mean, remember, BuzzFeed bought the Huffington Post, and they gutted the Huffington Post.
Oh, well, they gutted the Huffington Post, and now they're doing this.
Yeah.
That's even worse, right? What's happened to, I mean, now we're talking, it's like all gone.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to be left of BuzzFeed, I guess. Videos and listicles and
tasty and sex toys.
And sex toys.
Not to be confused.
And, it was kind of worrisome because they tried telling the investors that they were an e-commerce business, and their definition of being an e-commerce business is we have Amazon affiliate links.
I
know! Amazon affiliate links in our articles, just like a mom and pop blog, just like any blogger.
I thought that was so funny.
Because BuzzFeed doesn't have a plan. They thought they were going to go Hollywood. They thought they were going to be the next CNN. And this is like so many of these other digital media outlets. We're seeing all kinds of problems right now with, Gizmodo and the Geo Media Group right now and the strike. I'm like, you guys might have a temporary arrangement with your employers right now. But I guarantee you long term, the future of Geo Media looks a lot like BuzzFeed.
Well, I think that's what a lot of these companies are worried about because BuzzFeed hurried up and rushed to be the first one to go public.
Yep.
And now they all were watching to see what happened, and you can see what happened.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. This is the end of the line. I think BuzzFeed, the brand, will live on in some form, but BuzzFeed News is probably going to get gone. Some of their top editors already leaving because they see the writing on the wall. And we're going to have a lot more salty, unemployed journos on Twitter.
Probably, yes.
Go start a Substack or something. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't start a Substack because Nazis are on Substack or some shit.
And you can't, go do other things because of,
NFTs or something. I don't know.
Blockchain or whatever, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 261,000 subs.
Yay!
Thank you for the support. We do talk about pop culture. And we talk about the media because the media has been stoking the fires of the culture wars. I mean, for the last 6 or 8 years.
The media caused the culture wars.
I think that's fair.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Fair. I think media and social media, some sort of social media outlets, it doesn't let it stop. Like even when Trump was out of office, and
can we say that word?
They're still going on about it.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't stop. It just continues because they have to keep that outrage building. That to keep people fighting each other. It's easier to control people when they're fighting each other.
Yeah, that's it because you're not paying attention. It's kind of like the optical illusion they had on TV where they have the basketball players. And they're like, try to keep track of the ball. Everybody's looking at the ball being passed between the players, but you don't catch the guy in the gorilla suit walking behind.
I did.
You did. I know.
Did.
I'm saying, it's an optical illusion because they're keeping you busy, squabbling with
watching
each other.
The ball. And I was like, why is there a guy walking back in the back with a gorilla suit? I totally saw it.
And you're not seeing the machinations going on with these corporations. Now, the facade's starting to drop now, especially like with companies like Disney and stuff like that. It's not sustainable. But yeah, the media has, especially in pop culture, in nerd culture, the media has caused so much division and strife and chaos. And, they've gotten certain people in to different, places, whether it's comics or video games or tabletop games. A lot of them came from the media. A lot of them have a very chummy relationship with the media. And it's so weird, like, you see these articles that are written attacking fandoms, and you're like, that's not what happened. That's not even close to what happened.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be true. Just because they said it, that makes it true.
Right.
And that's the problem. And then this has all been leading to people, because as this happens more and more, the general public, tunes them out more and more. And I think that the truth usually lies in the middle, and it's swinging back to middle, and people are just like, I'm so tired of it that I don't even care anymore. And then you end up where we're at here.
Well, I mean, side note, I had a friend send last night, and it didn't really warrant a whole video, but CNN apparently is doing a hiring freeze right now until the Warner Discovery merger takes place. And they've said that they're going to try to pivot back to news.
Right. Like actual news.
Like actual news, like there was a fire.
Here are the facts around the fire.
Here are the facts around the fire. What started the fire?
It wasn't because Trump started the fire, or his people started the fire because they voted for Trump, even though, it might have been some rando who was, homeless, smoking a cigarette and threw it into a big pile of papers.
But he was wearing a red cap. It might have been a MAGA hat.
Yeah, he had a red shirt on. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's going back to news, and that's what the world needs is. People need more truth, but they don't need the twist. They need truth without the twist. And there's like a demand for it. And places like BuzzFeed, I mean, when they were doing listicles and quizzes, I don't think people care. It was fun. It was a distraction. They've pivoted away from the fun into more of the things they've been doing as of late, and people are just tired of it.
They are, and it's showing now that they can't hide behind venture capital anymore. We're going to see more and more of this with different companies. When they're propped up by venture capital, it looks like everything's fantastic. But now that they're a publicly traded company, you can see the truth. And the truth is their stock is worth about half as much as it was, the initial offering. It's like $5 a share now, and I think it started out like $10 a share, and people are like, "Wow, BuzzFeed."
Well, there was weirdness around
sucks.
That too. How much they're supposed to have ready to go for backers and stuff. They pulled out.
They thought they had like $250 million committed to BuzzFeed, and everybody pulled out, and they only had like $16 million. A lot of the employees thought they could cash out in week one, and they made sure that they couldn't.
Yeah, now they might be getting rid of the news people.
Yeah, so let's talk about the news people here. CNBC, we got a couple articles. NPR. Yeah, this is everything. Look, I'm not trying to be like I told you so, but we said things aren't looking good for BuzzFeed. They're not looking good for BuzzFeed.
No, they haven't been. We've been saying it.
BuzzFeed investors have pushed CEO Jonah Peretti to shut down entire newsroom, sources say. We'll talk about that and the fact that now their editors are actually leaving because they know the writing is on the wall.
Several large shareholders. It wouldn't have taken much to be a large shareholder when the stocks are that cheap.
Yeah, it was down to like $4 a share.
I mean, a large shareholder could easily, invest like a few $100,000 and be one of the main shareholders.
Well, that's what happened. My understanding is that some other media people just went and bought like millions and millions of dollars worth of it. And it would not surprise me if they were competitors and they're like, oh, let's just take down BuzzFeed.
Why would you waste that much money, though, to take down BuzzFeed?
Because you could buy it cheap. And then you take them off the board. I mean, if you've got that kind of money, I mean, not that BuzzFeed's any kind of a threat. I mean, this company has been in rapid decline.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said they're losing $10 million a year.
Oh yeah. So anyway, several large shareholders urged BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti to shut down the company's news organization. BuzzFeed News has won awards, including a Pulitzer. Once, but is now shrinking through voluntary buyouts. Voluntary buyouts. That means people are leaving. They're like, here, we'll pay you to quit. BuzzFeed News has about 100 employees and loses $10 million a year, according to people familiar with the matter. BuzzFeed is a shrinking. Oh, I thought it said BuzzFeed is a shrinking money-losing news organization.
No, they kind of are, though. BuzzFeed is shrinking its money-losing news organization. It announced Tuesday amid what people familiar with the matter describe as broader investor concern that the division is weighing down the company.
But what else do they have?
Tasty and
Tasty and testicles.
Basically Tasty and sex toys. But Tasty though, actually Tasty though is starting to be bigger and bigger because they have videos and they have different products like cookware and things like that are, gaining momentum because people want to see things that aren't about politics. They want to go see a cooking show for fun. They don't want to see, here's a test of, 10 questions to determine whether or not you're an alt-right Yahtzee. They don't want to see that masquerading as news. They want to see, hey, how do you make this fun recipe Where can I get the cookware?
Yeah, that's it. Or people want just straight up news or fun. I mean, BuzzFeed used to be a fun waste of time.
That's just it. That's exactly what it was.
You know,
and now it's still a waste of time. This took out the fun.
But that's like, video game sites too. We talk about, gaming journos and pop culture sites and comic book sites and all that. It used to just be like, this is where you'd go to read a review about a new video game because you wanted a fun waste of time. It wasn't worth $50 to buy this game, yes or no.
Clownfish TV, still a fun waste of time.
We're still a fun waste of time. We don't lose $10 million a year either. That's probably everybody's salaries. It's probably just like, you're not even, this is what we talked about with the Geo Media thing. It's like, you're not even bringing enough to the table to warrant asking for more money. Like,
yeah.
We know what the ad rates are like now for some of these big sites. And it's like, you're not even paying for yourselves.
And probably not. No, the ad rates are terrible.
Yeah, they're really bad now. The company, which also has advertising and commerce division, said Tuesday its full year content revenue grew 9%. But that's not news.
That's their content, like their cooking videos and things like that.
Yeah, pivot to video. One shareholder told CNBC shutting down the newsroom could add up to $300 million of market cap to the struggling stock. The digital media company went public via a SPAC or SPAC or whatever in December. The shares immediately fell 40% in their first week of trading and haven't recovered.
Well, now might be a good time to buy them up.
Yeah. This morning, we announced the plans to accelerate profitability for BuzzFeed News, including leadership changes, the addition of a dedicated business development group, and a planned reduction in force, Peretti said Tuesday. We will prioritize investments around coverage of the biggest news of the day, culture and entertainment, celebrity, and life on the internet. But they offered buyouts for fewer than 30 employees. Now, here's after the bombshell dropped. Their top editors are leaving. I don't know if they were bought out or they're just like.
Well, I mean, if what were they going to do? They're getting rid of that crap. I mean, they said they're still going to focus on some news, but it sounds like they're going to go other places because they know that it's going to be done.
Yeah.
Or they're told it's done.
I think they know it's done. I mean, when you've got the investors, and this is what's going to change everything. Because again, when you're bankrolled by venture capitalists, and you usually get 5 to 8 years. That you can do whatever the fuck you want for that, with their money. But then at the end of that 5 to 8 year period, you're gonna have to answer to someone.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to have the proof that it's worth.
Yeah,
what you spent the money on, and
it's
the not.
And the end of line is coming up for a lot of these media companies now. It's like, okay, put up or shut up. What did you do? We gave you hundreds of millions of dollars. What did you do with it? Show us the money. Show us the money you made on.
Show me the money. I love this. BuzzFeed is reorienting and shrinking its news division as a digital media company best known for its lighthearted lists and quizzes strives to increase profitability. Be more fun.
Yeah, right.
Don't be so damn political. The New York-based company is offering voluntary buyouts in its high-profile 100-person newsroom, and some top editors are leaving. They include Mark Schoofs, the editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed News. The editor's leaving. The deputy editor-in-chief, Tom Namico, who announced they moved to NBC News Digital on Tuesday, and Ariel Kaminer, the executive editor for investigations, is also leaving. The BuzzFeed News is unprofitable, but won awards, including its first Pulitzer last year.
Who gives a shit?
And its staff has been regularly poached by traditional news organizations. BuzzFeed spokesman Matt Mittenthal said about 35 people were eligible for the buyouts, but the company doesn't expect all of them to take one. But these people clearly did.
Yeah. When the editor-in-chief leaves, a
couple of the main people, the editor-in-chief, the deputy editor-in-chief, the deputy editor-in-chief,
the executive editor for investigations.
I mean,
you're pretty much fucked.
Rats are fleeing the ship, people.
Yeah, they are. Buyouts are going to be offered to news staff on the investigations, on investigations, inequality, politics, and science.
They're getting rid of investigations, inequality, politics, and science. That's what they're getting rid of.
Okay, so what's left? Celebrity news.
That's it. They're going to focus on big breaking news and lighter content. We're getting rid of the people that have made this super uber polarized. Oh,
they're done. They're done.
So we can make more quizzes and fun things and talk about celebrities. Yeah. I'm so tired. I don't know about you guys. I'm so effing tired of hearing about celebrities. I don't care. I'm tired of it. I think most people are just tired of everything. And I don't need celebrities to tell me what to think. I don't care what expensive outfits they're wearing. What I care about is the fact that they're saying bread might go up to $3 to $4 a loaf. You know, I care about that. I care about gas being the high prices it is. I don't care about what designer so-and-so was wearing at an award ceremony, so everybody has to go kiss her ass. I don't care.
This reminds me of, we've been watching the Food That Built America, and they talk about a lot of these companies that we know today, the brands we know today, the food companies, popping up during the Depression. And a lot of times it was very simple. It was like people wanted cheap, tasty food that was fun, that offered them.
That was unhealthy.
It was unhealthy. It was unhealthy, but it offered them a bit of a break from the daily day-to-day. And I think if companies like BuzzFeed and studios like Disney just focused on telling stories and giving people a little bit of escapism, they would do so much better.
Exactly, because people are over it. They don't want your hot take.
No.
They don't want to know what the celebrity thinks. They want to know what movie's coming out to make them feel a little better about their day.
Yeah. So they can escape it. And the problem is, and this is the biggest problem we've had with pop culture news sites or sites that cover pop culture, is they won't let you escape.
No, never. You can't.
Like if you want hard news, you go to a network like CNN.
No, none of those anymore.
But now it's like you go to a video game blog, they're telling you you're an awful person. You go to a comic book site, they're telling you you're an awful person and you should feel bad, or bringing politics into entertainment. And BuzzFeed, I think, overstepped its mission statement, and it got into news, hard news, and it should have just stuck with listicles.
But they won one Pulitzer.
They won a well, that's the same with comics. You're like, oh my God, this book didn't sell, and this creator has all kinds of problems, but we got an Eisner Award out of it.
Yeah, but Eisner Awards are bought easily, manipulated.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you worked on everything you worked on pretty much was an Eisner nominated or winning book.
Yeah, pretty much. Not to be, because it doesn't mean anything. So I don't. But pretty much every mainstream comic I worked on was like Eisner winning or nominated. Because I worked on a lot of the Disney collections and the Don Rosa collections and all that stuff. It was a team, obviously.
Well, I didn't say it was just you. I just said you worked on them.
Yeah, but I mean, if I could go out there and be like, well, I've worked on the Eisner. I'm an Eisner creator. Nobody gives a shit. You can't eat Eisners. You
can't eat Eisners. Nobody gives
Will Eisner would think it's bullshit too. Will Eisner.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a very practical numbers guy. He was numbers guy, and he would probably even look at like, what the hell are you doing with it? I don't give a shit. How much did you make? How much money did you make on this thing? That's it. Mm-hmm. And BuzzFeed, how much money did you make? Doesn't matter if you won awards, BuzzFeed. Are you making money? Oh, you're losing $10 million a year. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Goodbye. All right, we got to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.